I love my Road King Special. Stick around and find out why. Hi and welcome to another video. It's just another quick video, nothing too dramatic. I'm just gonna gush about my new Road King Special. If you followed the videos that I've been producing, you'll know that I've for the last 3 years I've had a Harley Davidson Sport Glide on the Softail platform, and I absolutely love that bike. But I've swapped it out and I have gone for my dream bike, which I thought was going to be too much, and I've now got the 2023 Road King Special, which I'm on now. And the reason for the change really was when I first bought my first Harley Davidson, I was obviously coming from, or I wasn't obviously, but I was coming from street naked bikes, 650, 700cc. Obviously a lot lighter, a lot smaller than the Harley Davidson range, so I didn't want to bite off more than I can chew, so I went with the Sport Glide, and I honestly thought that was going to be my forever bike. I didn't think there would be any need for me to change up, and realistically that's probably still true. There was no need for me to change. It's just, you know what it's like, the heart wants what the heart wants. And I've always admired the Road King Special, always. I just love the looks of it. I've test ridden it a couple of times, and I've always found the bike so comfortable in comparison to a Softail. It just sort of floats over bumps, and I don't know, it's just smooth, so much more smooth of a ride than the Sport Glide. The Sport Glide is super fun, and as I say, we had a bereavement of one of my best mates passed away, and I just thought, why don't I do what I want to do? Why am I holding back? So I bit the bullet and got this, and as I say, I absolutely love it. The pros and cons as opposed to the Sport Glide. Okay, the pros are, it's far more comfortable, I think. Everybody raves about the handling on the Sport Glide, and again, it was a really good handling bike, but I find this easier to handle, and don't ask me why, because it's heavier, it's bigger, but I think it's to do with the forks. There's trailing forks and leading forks, I think, and the Softails have one type, and I think they have the leading forks, and touring bikes have the trailing forks. And what that does, I can't explain exactly what it does, but it just makes handling and taking corners so nice in comparison to the Sport Glide. And as I say, I'm a newbie with this sort of thing, so please forgive my ignorance if I've got it wrong, but I just find the handling, even for a heavier bike with the conventional forks, better than the Sport Glide. Also, you've got the better lean angle on the Road King Special, which again really surprised me. So that's one pro. Another pro is if I do long distance riding, which again it's not massively regularly, but I do ride down to Spain from the UK maybe once or twice a year, and this would just make that so much more comfortable. And if my wife gets on the back, which again is very rare, she's got a lot more room than on the Sport Glide. Another pro is the bags. Now the bags on the Sport Glide I thought were perfectly adequate. I could fit quite a lot of stuff in there, but nothing in comparison to the Road King Special. Now again, I know if you look at cubic feet or cubic meters of storage space, there's very little between them, but I think it's maybe to do with the top loading on the touring bags, so you can just lift them up, lift the lid up and put everything in a nice orderly manner, and they'll stay there, as opposed to the Sport Glide where they're clamshell and you have to open up, and they open up to the side and everything sort of just moves around. Now again, as I say, for the vast majority of the time that's not an issue, but I like to keep some bits and pieces of me. I like to keep my camera equipment. I've got like a tripod in there. Also, when I'm off the bike, I put the camera equipment in there, and obviously my gloves and stuff like that, and I just find it so much more convenient. And I love the look of these bags in comparison to the Sport Glide. I just really like. So off the top of my head, they're the main pros. The cons is really the weight. Now if you're looking at the weight difference, I think the Sport Glide is something like 307 kilos wet weight, and this is something like around, I think, 250, 260. So we're looking at around about 50 kilos or 100 pounds, so that's nothing to be sniffed at. That's quite a big difference. And I thought it was going to be a bit too intimidating, especially as I live on the outskirts of London, and around my way the roads are narrow, there's a lot of traffic, and I just thought it was going to be too much. Also with regards to like moving the bike around and stuff like that and manoeuvring it, was going to be an issue. And don't get me wrong, it is, especially with my stature, say 5'6", 5'7", and not a heavy guy. I thought it's going to be too much, but it's not. You just need to be aware of the weight and not rush it, and it's absolutely fine. And I think if I flip that over to a pro, when you're actually out on the highway, on the motorway, and there's any sort of wind, you feel a bit more planted on the touring platform than you do on the Softail. So what am I going to do? So to get around the con of the weight, I've got something planned, which I'm not going to say on this video, but I will do another video on that when it's done. But I'm super excited about that, and I think that will just negate any fear I've got about the weight. But yeah, stick around for that. So that's it, just a quick video, as I say, nothing too strenuous, just say I love this bike, the reasons why I love this bike, and the pros and cons. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please press like. If you don't already subscribe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified of any future videos I've got coming up. Due to the bereavement, I'm not going to put out content so regularly as before, but I'm going to aim to do every couple of weeks and get a new video out there, and it's really just going to be my life on the Road King Special and my thoughts and feelings as a short rider. Anyway, as I say, I'm rambling on, so that's it. Please press like, please press subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I really appreciate all the support you give me, and I hope to see you again in the near future on another video. But in the meantime, ride safe, stay safe, and I will catch you next time.